Hello there, Rick here. Okay, here's been the task. How do we nano coat aluminum? Well, I think I figured it out. I can replicate it over and over and over again. So I wanted to show and share as much as I can. I know there's other guys that have achieved it, and I haven't seen any videos or explanation of how to do it. So this is the way I know how to do it. Right off the bat, 6 cups or 1.5 liters of tap water, 2 cups or 0.5 liters of cold caustic. Crock pot on high setting. That temperature is roughly 134 to 136 degrees Fahrenheit or 55 to 57 degrees centigrade. How to do it: dip, flip, pull, stand, allow to air dry. Okay, let me show you what I did. Okay, I want to go over the caustic first. On the caustic, it is the standard blueprint of how to make a cold caustic. What I use is called Crystal Heat. It's made by Zepp, and I get it in a local hardware store. This is what it looks like. And what I like about this is it has aluminum in it, and I don't know the definition of which one is the caustic, but it creates a blue color. As you can see on this right here, it's more blue when it's all done, but it works fine. It gives us a good nano coating process. Again, refer to blueprint of cold caustic recipe. Okay, so what we do is we pretty much, it is the dip, flip, pull, stand, air dry, and then what I do to check it is I'm using a multimeter. And I'm hoping you guys can see this. It looks all right. And with a multimeter, it checks resistance, if it's a good conductor or not. If we have good conductivity, it will show a very small number, meaning electricity will pass through okay. A normal piece of aluminum sometimes will even go down to 0. See how it, and I am on the ohm scale. The ohm scale is an upside down horseshoe. And there's also, on some meters, will give you a little bell sound. So if you go to the symbol that is an upside down horseshoe, and it will have like an alarm, that will beep when you touch it. This is a cheap one, so it doesn't beep. But anyways, I'm just showing you on normal aluminum, we get a resistance of very little resistance. And what I'm able to do now is, and this is normal aluminum, this is regular food grade, you buy it off the grocery store, thin, nothing special about it. I'm getting nothing through my sheets. So and I've even wrinkled them up and flattened them back out, and I am still 0 resistance with all of my nano coated aluminum, both sides. And it happens real quick. So I've got 0 resistance there. See, I touch my leads. So the ohms are telling me that electricity won't flow across this because there's too much resistance. Well, what do you know? That means we have nano coating. Okay, now, how did I do it? Okay, let's do that. So what I did is I have my crock pot, and I've got it all nice and warmed up here. And hopefully it's at the right temperature. I'm shooting for that 135. We are looking at 148, which is fine. And then if we go, and I think on the recipe I went 134. I was all the way down at that temperature and still working fine. In a Celsius scale, we're up at 62. All right, but again, that temperature, this one here, it seemed to work fine at this higher temperature, but this is just a crock pot set on high, is all this is. Okay, so what I do is I take this, we gotta okay, now I'm gonna put a glove on, because we're always supposed to wear gloves, and believe me, I've had a lot of caustic on my hands. Of course, my skin is like leather and I don't feel it, but when it gets on the back of my arm, I feel it real quickly. Okay, so what we have just a normal piece of aluminum. What I do is I drop it in there, I weight it down, kind of push it down. You can see a reaction taking place, almost like hydrogen peroxide on a sore. I take it, I flip it over, I weight it down again, just like that, and I take it out. And I take my aluminum out, and I stand it up. That's the important thing, is stand it up, let it air dry. See how I've stood it there? And just let it air dry. That's the key thing, because when I first did it, I kept wanting to check the ohms on it right away when it was still wet. The longer you let it set, the more grayish hue it will get to, a duller color. Shininess will wear off of it, and it'll turn into a dull gray piece of aluminum. And like I said, you can wrinkle it up, flatten it back out, and we still have a good nano coating on it. Let's see, the other thing, and let me do one more just to show you. You have a normal piece of aluminum, put it in your caustic water, submerge it. It's kind of hot, so I don't want to grab that. Submerge it, flip it over, and I flip it because that's what I've done. It may be fine on one side. I haven't tried that, but I always flip it. So you put it in there. You can see the reactions taking place. It's just like hydrogen peroxide on a really bad cut. And you see it steaming, just steaming, smoking. You just take it and stand it up. The steaming will stop. It is reacting on it. And as it sits there, it will change its color and turn to a slightly darker, dullish color of aluminum. Okay, now I have a question. What we're trying to create right now is our plasma capacitor batteries. And I have a question. I am a blueprint kind of guy. My whole life has been based on blueprint and details. I can build or replicate just about anything. I have questions, and my questions are on this nano-coated wire, and I am ready. I'm all nano-coated. I have left the sheath on a 10 gauge stranded wire, and I am roughly 10 inches long, and I have my 5 independent coils. I feed my first coil back to the forward end of it. My second coil jumps over to the, oops, I have those wrong. That should be the P2. I believe it's, or excuse me, P2 or A2 to P2. I understand that. So I have this one needs to go over one more. But my question is, on the paper, how many revolutions is required? I understand of making the GANs and what I need to make for the food GANs, and I'm in the process of creating that. But the amount of revolutions, Renan, if you could help us out on that, it makes it a little bit clearer. Also, I do understand that this portion right here will be wrapped with aluminum, our nano-coated aluminum. How many revolutions? I'm not sure. And I'm going to create these, and there's no way to test them. So Renan or Armin or Mike Marcos, anyone who would love to come back and give me some feedback on there, I'd be grateful. So that's what my question is how many revolutions when we come onto these? And Stefan Fry, maybe you have figured out what is the minimum and maximum of revolutions we need to go around on these things. But there it is. I surely hope it helps people. I can replicate it time and time again. I feel comfortable now in nano-coating aluminum, and as large a sheet as you want. It's just a dip process, so you can almost nano-coat a continuous roll of aluminum, which might be useful information if you had your roll feeding continuous through, as long as it air dried before it rolled up on the other end. So my mind goes in all different directions. I sure hope that helps everybody. Oh, I wanted to show this to you guys too, if you can see it. This is my exploding GANs that Stefan Fry has. And it's kind of neat because it is entertaining. But as you kind of tap on it, it kind of explodes, does its own thing. It's been sitting here for a month now, and it's kind of fun to watch. It is fun to watch as it just explodes. And I've changed around the different ganses to see if any one or more activate it more. The brass is what I have noticed that activates this and causes more bubbles. I've put different ganses on the top and bottom to see if any more activations happens, and it's pretty interesting to see what you can come up with. Well, here you go, guys. And again, I surely hope it helps. I love it when someone shows a video and I've learned something solid, so I figured I would share. Thanks, you guys. Thank you to all my family and people that have been helping me. Peace, and I hope everyone helps. Take care. Bye.